Ugh, it's such a hassle to be called in like this. I had to be hospitalized for an injury and needed a guarantor signature, so I asked my eldest son's wife, Olivia, to help. But Olivia just keeps complaining. To begin with, she looks down on me because she knows I live on a $700 monthly pension. The wedding gift was just a cheap one, barely $1,000. It's unbelievable. Every time we meet, she has something to complain about, and it's getting on my nerves. I manage just fine on $700 a month, so why does she feel the need to belittle me like this? Isn't the thought that counts for a wedding gift? Being judged solely on the amount of money is just... I tried to avoid Olivia as much as possible because talking to her just put me in a bad mood. Then one day, Olivia told me she wanted to cut family ties. I'd really rather not have to take care of you in your old age, just because you're my husband's mother. She probably thinks I'll be in a bind if she cuts me off. Olivia grinned triumphantly. Would that actually be a bad thing? Huh? Ignoring Olivia's confusion, I decided to sever the family ties. A few months later, Olivia found out something shocking and came storming into my house. I am Marie, 68 years old. I live alone in Boston. My husband passed away 2 years ago due to a worsening chronic illness. Now my younger son and his wife live nearby and look out for me. My eldest son, John, works for a global company and is too busy to come home often. However, he always sends me flowers and gifts for my birthday and Mother's Day. The same kind-hearted John announced at 38 that he'd finally found someone he wanted to marry. We decided to have a family meeting at home, and John brought Olivia. She was incredibly cheerful, and the meeting ended on a positive note, leading to a smooth engagement. The wedding was scheduled for 6 months later to accommodate John's busy schedule, but I took the wedding gift to John's house as soon as they registered their marriage. Mother-in-law, thank you for coming today. Oh, don't mention it. I'm just here to give the wedding gift. Oh, I'm so excited. I give Olivia the dishware I bought as a wedding gift, beaming with joy. I wanted to give something tangible rather than just financial support. I figured they'd already have furniture, so after some thought, I settled on dishware. But the moment Olivia sees the wedding gift, she freezes. Wait, this is the wedding gift? Yes, it's a set of matching teacups. I thought they were cute. Is something wrong? I start to worry that maybe it's not to her taste. However, the response I get is completely unexpected. You're giving me this cheap stuff as a wedding gift? Cheap? Are you kidding me? A wedding gift should be around $10,000, right? I thought you were rich because you lived in a nice house. Was I wrong? Oh, Olivia! I'm taken aback by this sudden change in Olivia. Her gestures, her tone, everything is different. There's no trace of the polite and cheerful Olivia I met at the family meeting. How are you making a living right now, mother-in-law? I'm on a pension. How much is the pension? $700. Ugh, you really are broke. What a scam. Living in such a nice house and still being broke is just the worst. Olivia crosses her legs and sighs. Living on $700 a month? That's so pathetic. How are you even surviving? Olivia's mocking tone irks me. I manage just fine on $700, thank you. Well, that's great. Just don't come asking me for help when you're broke. Turns out, Olivia is the kind of person who changes her attitude based on income and assets. Feeling demeaned and upset, I decided to head home right away. For about a month since then, I've thought several times about telling John about Olivia's true character. But our schedules never aligned, and I haven't been able to share it with him. I've spent the days feeling quite uneasy. Standing at a traffic light, lost in thought, I am suddenly hit by a speeding bicycle and fractured my arm. It wasn't a severe injury, but surgery and hospitalization were necessary. I was told I needed a cosigner for the hospital admission, and they asked me to contact a family member. As soon as I texted my sons, I received a call from John.
"Mom, are you okay? How's the injury?"
"I'm fine for now. I've taken some painkillers."
"About the cosigner for the hospital. It's going to be tough for my brothers and me. We're sending Olivia instead."
"Olivia?"
"Yeah, it's a weekday, and by the time we get off work, visiting hours would be over. Olivia doesn't work, so she can go."
"I see." To be honest, I really didn't want to see Olivia. But I couldn't afford to be picky. My middle son Michael and his wife Sophia are both teachers. They're busy not only working late, but also raising 2 kids. Even John sometimes gets home past 10 p.m. He's that swamped. I really couldn't impose on them. So I asked John, and we decided to have Olivia come. When Olivia arrived at the hospital, it was pretty clear she wasn't thrilled to be there. Being called out like this is just the worst. "I'm sorry. Everyone else is working, you know." "Just because I'm a homemaker doesn't mean I have free time, you know." I was prepared for some complaints, but her blatant attitude started to get under my skin. "By the way, you can pay the hospital fees, right?" "Of course, I'll cover it myself. No need to worry." "Fine. But don't pathetically ask for loans saying you're broke. From now on, the money John makes isn't just his, you know." She signs the papers with a smug smile and hands them to me. "To begin with, I didn't want to deal with this hassle." "I regret causing you trouble. I'll try to ask someone else in the future." "You better. The thought of more caregiving or hospital stays is depressing. I really don't want the hassle of looking after you in your old age." Her rude behavior made me want to limit my interactions with Olivia as much as possible, and couldn't wait for her to leave. Why did I have to put up with such harsh words when I didn't even want to be hospitalized? It was hard to accept. "Don't worry, Michael and Sophia are around, and I'll make preparations so I don't inconvenience anyone." I tried to act as normal as possible. I didn't want to stir the pot, especially in front of the nurses and other patients. "Then go ahead and do as you please. Don't come crying to me when no one helps and you regret it later." "I'll make sure it doesn't come to that." "Good, because even if you play the 'I'm the eldest son's daughter-in-law' card later, it won't help. So why don't you sever family ties right now?" She probably thought that saying sever family ties would make me uncomfortable. But honestly, I wouldn't be bothered if I cut ties with Olivia. Worst comes to worst, I'll manage my later years even without my children's support. I'm okay with it. But what about you? "Huh? Of course it's fine." Despite being taken aback by my unexpected response, Olivia nodded. She probably thinks I'll be in trouble without my kids' support because I'm poor and live alone. "All right, let's sever family ties then. I won't contact you anymore and I'll delete your number." "Do whatever you want. You're such an annoying old hag." Olivia, irritated by my laid-back attitude, stomped out with exaggerated, heavy footsteps. I had planned to help with the wedding expenses, but after seeing Olivia's attitude, I decided against it. There's no way I'm giving money to someone who talks about cutting off family ties. I swore to myself that I'd never rely on Olivia. Then I had my surgery and was discharged from the hospital a few weeks later. I continued with my rehab and carried on with my life. Even while hospitalized, I remembered how Olivia severed our family ties. I was determined never to depend on my children. So I didn't ask for help after I got out of the hospital. But on the day of my discharge, my second son and his wife came to help without a word. And it didn't stop there. They frequently assisted with groceries and other errands. Sophia, you're busy with work. You don't have to go out of your way. Isn't it inconvenient with just one arm? Don't hesitate to ask for help. I'm doing it because I want to. Sophia's kindness touched my heart. I found myself getting angry when comparing Sophia to Olivia. I haven't had any contact with Olivia since. I even thought about canceling my plans to attend her wedding and reached out to my son. I doubt we'll have any further involvement in each other's lives. 2 weeks after my discharge, I noticed something strange while being taken shopping. Sophia, do you hear that odd noise coming from the car? Yes, actually, the side mirror broke, and it's been making this weird sound. The car's a bit old, so it looks like I'll have to replace it. I'm really not sure what to do. That's tough. But you do need a car, right? You drive to work, don't you? Yes, but even a compact car is a considerable expense. Seeing Sophia struggle with this decision, I made a suggestion. Then let me buy it for you. What? I can't accept something that expensive. It's okay. You've been helping me out. By driving me around, consider it a thank you. But still, if you feel bad about it, how about you continue to take me shopping until my arm heals? Thinking it might be too much to ask, I was delighted when Sophia greeted the idea with a warm smile. Of course, let's keep going shopping together, even after your injury heals. Hearing her say that, a smile broke across my own face. So I ended up buying a new car for Sophia. Life settled into a peaceful rhythm, almost making me forget about the whole Olivia ordeal, especially with my younger son's family visiting and checking on me regularly. Several weeks later, my injury had improved significantly, to the point where I could carry light items again. That day, I didn't have any rehab appointments, so I was lounging at home watching TV, when the doorbell suddenly rang. Checking the monitor, I saw Olivia standing there. What could she possibly want after declaring our family ties severed? Suspicious? I opened the door, and the moment she saw my face, she started shouting. What's the meaning of this? What's gotten into you? I can't think of anything I've done to deserve this anger. I saw Sophia, your son's wife, driving a brand new car the other day. And what's your point? Don't play dumb. That nice car is worth over $10,000. There's no way she could afford that on a teacher's salary with kids. When I asked her how she got the car, she said mother-in-law bought it for her. Well, yes. She mentioned her car was breaking down and needed replacing, so I gifted it to her. I don't see what's wrong with giving a car to my son's wife. You never give me anything, yet you spoil Sophia? You're truly a terrible person for showing such favoritism. If you can easily gift a car, why not contribute more to our wedding? Well, Sophia helps out with errands and chores around the house. You're the one who cut off ties, so why would I give you anything? You wanted to sever the relationship, didn't you, Olivia? Well, yes, but still. How can you afford a new car worth over $10,000? You're not that rich, are you? Who said I was poor? I inherited real estate from my husband, you know. Real estate? Olivia looked shocked. My husband was a salaried employee, but he had a decent income and had invested in real estate. He owned an apartment complex which I inherited after he passed away. I've been saving the rent money little by little each month. I get by just fine on my pension, but I like to travel every year, so I've been saving up. I'm not hurting for money, and if worst comes to worst, selling the property could net me several $100,000. Several $100,000? If you have that much money, you should have said something. Why should I? You're the one who misunderstood. I never said I was struggling financially or that I needed to borrow money.
Stop lying. This is infuriating.
I sighed at Olivia's childish tantrum. Why would I go out of my way to brag about my assets? That would be embarrassing. She's glaring at me, clearly not convinced. I wasn't deceiving you. Originally, I had thought about contributing money for the wedding, but then you said you wanted to cut ties with the family, so I changed my mind.
Why? It's your son's wedding. Aren't you happy for him?
I was happy for John's wedding, but I didn't want to give any money to you, Olivia.
Why would you say that? If you have the money, then what's the problem in sharing some? Everyone's being so stingy, it's making me mad.
Olivia started stomping her feet on the ground. Is a 30-year-old woman not embarrassed to act this way just because things aren't going her way? Why do you want so much money in the first place?
What? Isn't it obvious? I want to have fun. And there are a lot of things I want to buy. John only gives me $2,000 a month, saying that's enough.
$2,000 isn't enough for you?
Of course not. Even a decent bag costs at least $5,000.
I shook my head at Olivia's reckless spending. I truly wondered how John could have fallen for such a woman. Olivia's anger showed no sign of warning, and her complaints about John were endless.
I even married John thinking he had money. If I'd known he was this stingy, I would have never married him.
Is John really that stingy?
Absolutely he is. He only gives me an extra $500 on top of rent and living expenses. Even the gifts are capped at around $2,000. It's unbelievable. If he's making over $1 million a year, he should be giving me more. I thought once we were married, I could spend money however I wanted.
So, you married him for his money?
Well, duh. Why else would I willingly marry a guy pushing 40? It has to be for the money.
At that moment, my anger boiled over. There's no way I could forgive someone for belittling my precious son like this. Just as I was about to yell at Olivia, John approached from behind her.
Let's get a divorce then.
What? John, what are you doing here?
I heard from Mom that she still won't attend our wedding because she wants to cut ties with you. So I came here to get the full story. Overheard you two arguing and decided to stick around. You had quite a lot to say, didn't you?
This isn't what it looks like. I mean... Olivia looked panicked, breaking into a cold sweat. I had no idea John was even here. Ignoring the flustered Olivia, I continued to speak. So you came all this way. How long have you been listening?
From the part where you were talking about how you could afford to buy a car despite being poor.
So you've heard most of the conversation. I've been labeled as poor, and someone who she won't take care of in my old age. That's why she wants to cut ties. No further explanation was given for not attending the wedding. John nodded, his expression stern.
I don't need any more explanations. I understand Olivia well enough now.
No, you've got it all wrong. This is a misunderstanding.
It's not a misunderstanding. I heard you clearly say you're in it for the money. I can't be with someone like that. Let's get a divorce.
Wait a minute. Now, of all times? I quit my job because we got married. Olivia desperately grabs onto John's arm, shaking it. But John shakes off her grip, shooting her a cold look.
That's not my problem. I hope you find a new job soon.
Don't be so heartless. I can't live without you. I have no place to go and no savings.
Why don't you sell your clothes and bags for cash? That should get you through a few days. Although I don't know who would rent an apartment to someone without a job.
Stop it. Don't say that. I even bragged about marrying you to my friends. How can I tell them there's no marriage now? It's too embarrassing, please.
That's all on you. Maybe you'll be the talk of the town for all the wrong reasons.
Olivia had never seen John so angry before. A man usually known for his calm demeanor. Her face turns pale as she begins to apologize profusely.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I won't talk like that again. I don't even need the money. Just don't divorce me.
No matter how much she apologized, John's expression remained stern.
I can't even stand to look at you anymore. Leave right now. No, please reconsider. Come on, please. Just so you know, it's not only about the money. How could you tell someone's parents that you want to cut ties because you don't want to care for them? If I'd known you were such a cold person, I never would have married you in the first place.
At the sound of John's raised voice, Olivia starts to cry.
Don't ever show your face in front of me again.
No! Olivia starts crying, her face covered by her hands. But no one is there to console her. I felt a bit relieved that John understood her true nature, and I felt relieved that I no longer had to be deceived by such a nasty woman. John, realizing why I declined to attend the wedding, apologized and left. Realizing she's hit a dead end, Olivia gave me a piercing glare and walked away, clearly disappointed. Afterwards, I heard that John and Olivia got divorced, and she moved into an old apartment. Before their marriage, she apparently worked as a receptionist at a shopping mall, but was on the verge of getting fired due to her poor work attitude. It seems like she wanted to marry someone wealthy so she could quit her job quickly. Unable to find another job due to her lack of qualifications and skills, Olivia apparently started working nights. Olivia, now over 30, apparently isn't making as much money as she'd hoped. And I hear she's living a pretty frugal life while complaining all the way. On the other hand, it looks like John has found a new love interest. I was worried about how quickly he'd move on, but after meeting her, I found she's a genuinely calm and sincere person. She herself had been married, cheated on, and then divorced. That common history of divorce brought them together. It's funny how divorce can lead to new beginnings, but I feel more at ease with her. We work together and know each other's character well. John said this with a smile. I consider myself most fortunate to have married and met my children. So I hope John can find a loving family through marriage as well. But marriage isn't the only path to happiness. Some people are choosing not to marry these days, and there's no need to rush into it. If you meet someone wonderful and feel like you want to marry, then go for it. I hope John finds his way to a happy life from here on out.